Hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to the Gold and Silver Club end of week review presented by myself, Phil Carr, and Nick Kelsey at thegoldandsilverclub.com. Today we will be reviewing the latest developments in the commodities markets and analysing the week's performance. This live session will cover an end of week summary for gold, silver, oil and commodity currencies. We will be looking at the top trades of the week. We will be covering live market commentary and technical analysis. We will also be looking at the week ahead, so key events looking forward, and of course answering any of your questions today. So gold price over this week, we've had a lot of movement on the markets this week, so let me talk you through exactly what has been happening today and over the last week. So gold price is on track for strongest week in a month. So we have had a lot of movement over the last week or so. In fact, the current price of gold this morning is just $1,387 an ounce. So we can see it's much higher than it was this time last week. Gold prices were up on Friday after weak economic data from China raised fears of stagnant growth in the world's second largest economy and boosted gold's appeal once again. So gold is trading, well it's actually trading right now, $1,387 an ounce, so slight pullback from a little bit earlier on this morning, but it remains on a positive note as the US dollar eased to trade at 83.75 after topping at 84.40 range on Thursday. China's flash HSBC Purchasing Managers Index dropped to a 7-month low of 49.6 in May. A number below 50 indicates contraction. The Japanese stock market also tumbled overnight and the Japanese yen rallied in the wake of the US stock market losses on Wednesday, and Japan's Nikkei stock index fell by 7% on Thursday. And in the European Union, there were more weak economic data released on Thursday. The Market Purchasing Managers Survey for the Eurozone came in at 47.7 in May from 46.9 in April. Below the 50 threshold suggests contraction. And on Wednesday, Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke said the US Central Bank could decide to start scaling back on its $85 billion in monthly bond purchases in the next few meetings. But Bernanke also said the US economy had to show more signs of progress before the Federal Reserve would make that move. So it did help gold stay on track for more than 2% gain this week, that news. Been a very volatile week. Weak global economic data this week has also prompted safe haven demand for gold, driving the precious metal towards the 1,400 an ounce mark, on track of course for its strongest week in a month. So looking ahead, and we will be looking at this very shortly, the big question is, will gold prices continue to rise next week? So we'll be looking at that very shortly. We'll go through some live market analysis. Okay, so for those of you who are new to our webinars, I'm Phil Carr, professional trader, trainer and speaker. I'm the co-founder and director of the Gold and Silver Club. I specialise in teaching people how to make money from trading the most lucrative financial markets in the world, so silver, gold, oil and Forex. I've trained thousands of individuals to become independent traders and successfully manage their own investment portfolio. And I'm responsible for the research and development of the Gold and Silver Club trademark strategies that have a proven track record of generating returns for traders. Also a regular contributor to a number of financial publications and speak at numerous trading seminars, webinars and workshops. Joining me on the call, helping to answer all your questions, is Nick Kelsey, professional trader, investment analyst and speaker. Nick began his career within private wealth management in 2002 before making the transition into proprietary trading. Prior to co-founding the Gold and Silver Club, Nick spent over 5 years coaching professional fund managers and traders internationally for some of the world's top-tier hedge funds and investment banks. Through his first-hand relationship with some of the world's most successful traders, he discovered the formula, the mindset and tools that give any individual the definitive edge to trade in any economy, and also writes for a number of global business and financial publications, and we both appeared frequently on financial television. Here's us doing another monthly roundup on the gold and silver markets for Dukascopy Swiss TV and some recent press publications we've been in as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to move on to the top trades of the week. So again, gold price just this morning, we're trading at $1,387 an ounce, just under 1388 currently. Okay, so top trades of the week using the Gold and Silver Club signature trading strategies. First of all, we had a really nice move. This was from a position we entered in just on Friday, actually, after the webinar that we had last Friday, and this really followed through nicely on Sunday night. We had a really quite significant move to the downside. This was where we got in there. We broke support on Friday of 1,370, so we triggered into this trade at $1,369 per ounce, and we reached profit overnight. On the Sunday open, we had some huge sell-offs in gold and silver. Silver actually capitulated, went all the way down to $20 an ounce, and that followed through on gold, although gold didn't get quite as low as silver did, but it still presented a nice 290 point move to the downside. So risk on that trade was 70 points to $700 risk per lot traded for 290 points profit. So $2,900 of profit for each lot traded for a nice 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio. And then this is actually a trade that there's been several opportunities on gold this week. This was just a trade which was entered into on Wednesday evening, and this was when the price of gold came down to, again, level of support around the 1360 level. We got clear rejection off that, got in at 1366, and we rallied all the way back up to resistance at just above 1390, actually about 1395. We got out at 1390 for 240 points. So again, 70 points risk on that. So each lot traded $700 of risk for 240 points profit. So 2,400 profit on each lot for a 3-to-1. And then we had a nice trade, just a quick day trade on crude oil yesterday, which came into profit very quickly. You can see there we've got a previous resistance level, which then turned into support. We had another opportunity to enter yesterday at 101.27. Very quick to actually reach our profit target. Just in about 90 minutes, we got to 102.56 for 129 pips for a 3-to-1 risk to reward. So each lot traded risked $400 for $1,290 profit for each lot. And also we had a nice move this week just on Tuesday on Australian dollar CAD. So here's that major support level we discussed on last Friday's webinar. We came down, we retested that level of support. We did get rejection, and we had a nice day trade on that again. Getting in entry just at 10003, and we came out just 73 pips high there for a nice 2-to-1, 35 pip risks on the trade. So each lot traded $350 risk for 73 pips, so $730 of profit. So those are top trades of the week, and what we'll do, we'll now move on very shortly to some live technical analysis. If you've got any questions at all, do fire those away in the chat box as well. Okay, so we're just going to put this onto my screen, so bear with me whilst we just get everything ready for this. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, we will start off with crude oil. So hi there, Lalit from calling from India there. Good to see you on the call again. So question there on crude oil. So the crude oil chart. Okay, so yeah, this is Brent crude oil that we're referring to here, Lalit, which we're looking at the moment. So yeah, the crude oil chart we've got here right now, what you want to pay attention to, so this is essentially, if I just drop to a tighter time frame, here is the, we had a nice entry yesterday. You can see very clear rejection off a level of support, nice hammer setup there, and we had that nice, just a 2-to-1 move. You can see the price actually after that level has started to retrace a little bit, but I would keep an eye on this at the moment, keep an eye on crude oil, because we have got quite a strong hammer there, which has been formed at that 100.87 level. You can see we just got an inside bar forming at the moment, so be very interested to see whether the price is going to be able to break the high of yesterday, so whether it's going to be able to break through the hammer there and follow through to the upside and see if we can get back within this trend channel on crude oil, or whether we're going to get a breakdown. And if we did get a breakdown, whether I'll be interested to see if we're going to break through the 100.87 level and potentially go lower to test lower price action levels. But at the moment, yeah, keeping a close eye on crude oil. You can see there the trend, the upward trend channel that we've been in more recently on crude oil, following some price action very nicely, following levels of support and resistance, which crude oil often does very nicely. So crude oil definitely one to be watching today, and see whether we do break past just how it's going to be around the 102.71 per barrel. That's what I'll be looking at on crude oil today. We're going to take a look at gold. So gold's actually looking very interesting. You can see here where gold has been moving quite nicely just between these price action levels. We've come up finding resistance around the 1,397 level, finding support around the 1,355 level. So often this happens, you'll have a big move or a big move up or a big move down on gold, then you'll start to consolidate, and we're just seeing that again. We saw that going back to the end of April. We consolidated for about 10 days. It's just going back up to the top here. We've consolidated between the 1440 level and the 1487 level, and now we seem to be consolidating between the 1355 level to the 1400 level. So what I would look at right now, we are putting on the daily time frame, there's an inverse hammer forming at resistance. If you go in the 4-hour time frame, we get a bit more detail on that. So you can see yeah, quite a strong inverse hammer forming at that resistance level around 1395, and just clean this chart up just a little bit for you. Yeah, so what I would watch out for is potentially for the price to come down, some profit taking, maybe retrace and come back towards the 1350 level again. If we continue to stay within this zone, so it could be that the price just comes back down to around the 1360 level, finds support, and then comes back up. Obviously you want to keep an eye on gold and see if we are going to get a breakout of the 1400 level, in which case then we could have a run back towards the 14. It could go back certainly to the high we got on the Federal Reserve speech a little bit earlier this week, which is around the 1414 level. Beyond that, if we could get back into the 1440s. So that's definitely what I would keep an eye on for gold at the moment. So again, just consolidating the last couple of days. Those are the key levels to really be looking at right now. Silver, so silver very interesting. We had that capitulation just on Sunday evening. You can see where the price obviously came down and broke through some major positions. Must have been stopped out to have such a big move to the downside there. So we broke through the position that we caught as well on a pending order. When we broke through the 22 level, we come all the way down very quickly, dropped $2 on silver, only to get very strong buying. So you would have needed to be very quick if you were to have caught some of that upward momentum on the Sunday night. But you put in a very sharp tail on that hammer. It's a dragonfly doji. What's interesting is that it's also visible on the monthly time frame, the weekly time frame, and the daily time frame. So that's quite an important line in the ground at the moment for silver, that $20 an ounce. So very interested to see if silver is going to be able to confirm this move and break back above that high that we reached on Sunday when we had the big retracement, and also midweek when we had the Bernanke speech. So 23.37 level for me we need to get above at the moment on silver. Right now, it's after that move, it is just had a little bit of a pullback. There's been some profit taking, but nothing's been decided just yet. So certainly one to keep an eye on. I would be very interested to see if we're going to start to be able to form a bit of a base here and break out to the upside above 23.37. Obviously, May is typically a bearish month for the metals. They do say sell in May and go away, and we're coming towards the end of May now, so we may start to see some consolidation, a bit of a base form as we head into the summer months now. But summer months are typically quieter for the metals anyway. Things really start to move a lot more towards August, September once we have the wedding season in Asia start, and you get a lot of more movement in the metals from really August onwards. So I would look out for a bottom in the gold and silver markets. Obviously, if the price does continue within the trend and continues to go lower down, your $20 an ounce level is really important level to watch, because if we do break the $20 an ounce, we could then see some more significant levels below that, which would be retested. So you've got the $18 an ounce level, and then we would be looking, if we broke through about $19 an ounce, then potentially coming all the way back down to around the $16 mark on silver. It could be quite a big move if we really break through the $20 an ounce level. But there yet, we're still $2 away from that level, $2.50 away from that. So we're closer to this resistance level, and that's what I'd be looking at the moment for silver. Again, that big dragonfly doji, that capitulation there is one something to really bear in mind, because a lot of traders will be seeing that not only on the daily but on the weekly and the monthly time frame. Investors as well for silver. Okay, so a few questions coming through here, guys. So, Adi, you want to look at Euro Japanese yen? We can look at that. Lucas, coming on there. You said you were coming on a bit late. Have we looked at gold? We have looked at gold. Lucas, we can look at it just before the end. If there's any specific questions you want to look at gold, do let me know, and we can just recap on that from what we've had a look at. Okay, guys. We look at Euro JPY very shortly, Adi. What I'll do, just going to look at some of the commodity currencies first. One which I do want you guys to have a look at is Australian dollar CAD. This has been very interesting because if you go out to the weekly time frame Australian dollar CAD, you see we've got a major level of support where we had rejection just on Friday as well. We've had a nice about over 100 pip move to the upside. You can see this major level of support around the 0.9956 level. So if we go into the daily time frame, what you want to note at the moment on the daily is this box which is just forming a price. We're just consolidating between 0.9956 and coming up to really the 1.0090 level. So very interested to see if we're going to get a break. We do have some bullish candles there on the daily time frame. You can see those dragonfly dojis which typically indicate that the price has been rejected. So, and we are seeing some rejection again. We're certainly not breaking through the 0.9956 level. So again, I would be very interested to see if we're going to get a breakout either way. So if we're going to break through the 1.009 level and get a move towards the upside and test these other price action levels, these shorter term price action levels, or if we're going to finally break through a 2-year level of support on Australian dollar CAD. Again, I would look at, for me that's very interesting. I would keep an eye on that because that's already, we've taken a really nice day trade in that. It's pulled back a bit, hasn't broken the candle lows here, so it's also offering potentially a better price to get in based on the previous setup which you've got there. Very strong rejection yesterday, so we got a really nice dragonfly doji there. Also, obviously look at the Australian US dollar. So Australian US dollar, to me Australian US dollar, very bearish at the moment. It's giving a lot of false potential buys at the moment, so I would be much more interested in the derivatives like Australian dollar CAD, GBP, Australian dollar as well, rather than directly trading Australian US dollar, because you can see there even yesterday very strong candle on the bullish side which was actually rejected there by key moving average, and we're seeing the price just come down, so just within the trend again on Australian dollar. If we go to USD Canadian dollar, we have just been along with the strength of the US dollar, we've been having a lot of strength in the USD Canadian dollar. Very interested to see if we're going to get to these important levels of resistance around the 1.041 level, 1.044. So if we actually just zoom out slightly on here and we go to the weekly time frame, you can see actually where we are encountering previous levels of resistance which haven't been tested since June 2012. So we are near almost a 1-year high on these markets. So I would definitely look to see if we're going to get some profit taking, and potentially I'll be looking out for any counter trend opportunities or breakouts. So we'll be looking at setups around these levels, but we're getting to interesting levels on USD CAD at the moment. New Zealand US dollar, I mean very similar, as you guys know, you get a lot of correlation between gold, silver and the commodity currencies, Australian US dollar, New Zealand US dollar. So with the sell-off that we've had recently on gold and silver, that's followed through to the New Zealand US dollar. We hit to be finding some support around the 0.8044 level. It's quite choppy at the moment, the way that this market is moving. You know, it's putting in some real spike lows. It's very choppy right now. I'd like to set out a bit more and have a bit more confirmation before entering into addition, but again I like the derivatives. So Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, always a good one to have a look at. It's just it's just coming down actually to a key price action level right now, where the price is right now. It's 1.1945. So that's the Australian dollar versus the New Zealand dollar. Let's also have a look at GBP, Australian dollar as well. So this is pound versus Australian dollar. You can see the pound is gaining strength against the Australian dollar today, actually coming up to test a level of resistance there where the price has been rejected twice already this week. That's a very strong, that's a bullish engulfing candle there. So I'll be interested to see if we're going to get a breakout now from that level. And what I'll do, guys, I'm going to actually let's just quickly move across to Euro Japanese Yen. Adi, we're going to have a look at Euro Japanese Yen. Okay, so what I'm seeing in Euro Japanese Yen at the moment We're above key moving averages on Euro, Japanese yen currently. Obviously, we're still within that uptrend right now. We've had the prices come back and retested. So you can see really where previous resistance has become support on Euro, Japanese yen. So previous resistance here. Now we've found some support. Although we've seen these prices spike down, it's almost a fake break of support and then the prices come back on. We've actually got yesterday quite a strong hammer there, very long tail on that, indicating a lot of price rejection. So a lot of buyers have come back in the market. So it's potentially more of a pullback. Today we've got a doji, so prices opening, closing at the same level. Again, quite a lot of rejection, so the price has found support there. Yeah, so that's what I'll be looking at the moment and see whether, be interested to really see if the price is going to break through these highs, and if so, it's just a bit more difficult to assertion a profit target on that, because obviously you're going to be breaking to all-time highs on this market. Not all-time highs, probably, no, it's going to be, yeah, 3-year highs. So that's what I'll be looking at right now. So on the weekly, we've also got a doji indicating indecision in the market at the moment. Let's look at the monthly. Monthly is fairly bullish. So yeah, I would keep an eye on that, and I would be interested to see if we're going to break through the 1.32.65 level, so which would be today's high, well, yesterday's high here. I don't think it's certainly not giving an indication of short at the moment. Okay, Lucas, so yeah, we'll have a look. Yeah, there's a Eurus durable goods this afternoon on gold. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. We'll have a look at gold again very shortly, just at the key levels. I'll say, so you're wanting to have a look, let's just quickly look at USD. Yeah, that's interesting. So we have finally sold off. So on USD CHF, what was interesting on this market is that we did come in to a level of resistance. We had actually, you can see we weren't far from it. This is the resistance going back to July 2012. We did actually spike up above a key price out, key Fibonacci level there as well, just early on in the week. But you can see that has been rejected, and we've had quite a nice sell-off to the downside since then. We're actually finding a bit of support this morning at the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level. You can see where the price is just being supported there right now. So if you're in this trade already, shorting, obviously that's a potential take profit level, although we may break down lower than that. We'll just check the weekly time frame, looking quite bearish on this market. You can see we're putting in an inverse hammer on the weekly. So if the US dollar continues to lose some strength over the course of the next few days, we start seeing a bit of a rally in gold and silver. Yes, you can see this market continue to move down there, I'll say. Okay, so we're just going to go back to Lucas's question on gold. So as we're discussing there, guys, so at the moment on gold, what we need to see is on gold, what you often find is that you will have a big move to the upside or the downside, which we normally last up to 48 hours or so. Often gold can be consolidating for a long time, and then within 2 days it will have a significant move to the upside or the downside. Then afterwards it consolidates again. So back in towards the end of April, we saw this for 10 days. We just consolidated between 1440 to 1487. What we're seeing now is again another level of consolidation. We've just seen the price really move between 1360 to the 1390 level there. I'm just going to quickly just make this a bit clearer for you on my chart so you can see what's going on. Okay, so at the moment, yeah, we're just moving, and it's a price action level as well. It's between 1395 and the 1355 levels where we're just consolidating. If you go into the 4-hour time frame, just give you a bit of a better feel of what's going on. So you can see here very clear, we've had some nice day trade opportunities this week. So just from going short around the 1395 level where we're consolidating, and going long once the price is down on retest around the 1360 level once we get a very clear setup. So that's what the market's doing at the moment. So what would I be looking at today? Well, we do have an inverse hammer forming at resistance. So are we going to see the price slowly drift down this afternoon? We do have the US durable goods this afternoon, which I'll be going through in the news announcements. So here we can see this is what could happen. The price could slowly grind down lower, could come back to support, in which case be interested to see if we get a bounce off that support or we do break through. I'll be looking very closely at the 1330 level if we were to get further weakness over the next few days to see if that level gets broken. Otherwise, I'll be very interested as well potential breakout as well. Breakouts above the 1400 level. We did have a very short-lived breakout earlier on in the week during the Ben Bernanke speech. We broke out towards the 1415 level, but that was very short-lived. A spike high, we actually came up to 50% retracement, Fibonacci retracement level. Price then just got rejected, came back down again. So what I would be looking at is probably three scenarios really there. So either the price to sell off now and continue to grind down lower and see if it just comes back to that support level around the 1360 level, and then see if we get a bounce off that level. Whether we're gonna, if we do get a sell-off, the second option could be see if we break through the 1350 level and also the 1330 level. That's quite a lot to expect for gold to do today. But if it was to do that, I would be very interested to see what the price action is around the 1330s. And the other scenario is, of course, to see if the price can break through the 1400 level, follow through to 1415, and follow through and break out of that and get back to within its range around 1430s to 1480 level. So that would be, if the US dollar continued to weaken, that would be the next price action levels I'd look at if we were to get a breakout from this level of consolidation. So very simple really, just to be looking at this market just today and be looking at those key price action levels which we just discussed. So I'll be looking at this resistance, be looking at this support, see if we're going to get the move continue within that consolidation or break out from either side. Yeah, I think that's answered your question there, Lucas. Fantastic. Okay, so with that, guys, just to recap, so we've covered gold. Okay, just quickly before we do that, a couple more questions come through. Okay, so we've got a few more questions. So we'll take just two more questions, guys, and then I'll wrap up for you guys on the live analysis, and we'll go to the next week's news. Okay, so Lalit, the best way to track crude oil, any correlation with currency pairs. So crude oil, yeah, you do find there is a correlation on crude oil. There is a correlation you can see with gold and silver and crude as well. You can actually see where we've had the very similar. If I look at the charts for crude oil, you can see where we've had the pullback in price. We have had the consolidation as well. We started to get this move to the upside. So crude oil, if you look at silver, if you look at gold, it's not as smooth, but you can see that. Also, crude oil is quite affected by USD Canadian dollar as well. So USD Canadian dollar being a major commodity exporter, there is correlation between the USD Canadian USD CAD and crude oil as well. So those are the markets which really do tend to correlate. You also want to look at the fundamentals on crude oil as well, because that can affect the oil inventories which come out on Wednesdays at 3:30 and other economic factors you need to take into account, particularly news on crude oil. But as I said, for those who missed it, at the moment crude oil is looking very interesting. We're staying within that upward trend. We've got a nice strong hammer with a long tail from yesterday. Got an inside bar, so I'll be interested to see if the price is going to break above yesterday's high and see if we're going to get the price continue to grind higher. So see if it gets above 102.70 today. Be very interested to see if that will continue to then move within this this base that we're starting to form on crude oil. Yep, okay, that's answered your question, Janet. Perfect. Okay, and Mr. C, final question. What do you think of gold? The pullbacks can go to the upside. I assume you're talking about gold at the moment being an opportunity to go long. I mean, really, the way you want to look at gold, gold's like a currency, it behaves like a currency, it moves very volatile, it moves over an average day, moves 300 pips per day. I would not be looking just to only trade gold on the pullbacks. We certainly don't. You want to be able to short gold as well as go long. So don't look to only be buying gold. Certainly want to take opportunities to short gold. We're just staying within a range at the moment. Last few days, 1398 down to the 1360 level. So you want, obviously, this is the benefit of being a trader versus an investor. You can make money when the prices go down as well as go up, and of course when they go sideways, because you can trade those moves as the price just channels sideways. So that's the way I would look at it. Okay, fantastic. So what we're going to do now, guys, we are going to move over to have a look at what the news is over the next week. Okay, so we're just going to look at the key events looking forward. So this afternoon, 1:30, yes, we have the US durable goods order. So this measures the change in the total value of new orders for long-lasting manufactured goods, excluding transportation items. So a higher reading indicates increased manufacturing activity. Higher than expected readings should be taken as bullish for the USD, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish for the USD. So that will, of course, affect gold in an inverse way. So if we have positive data for the US dollar, you'll see gold and silver sell off. If we have, that's usually the correlation, although you want to just follow your charts before you take any of those sort of moves. And also, if the news is bearish for the US dollar, you would expect gold and silver to be supported and possibly rally from that. So 1:30 this afternoon, that's going to be important announcement just to see overall direction going into the weekend of gold and silver. Wednesday next week, 29th of May at 1 o'clock, we have the German CPI, so that's the German Consumer Price Index, which measures the changes in the price of goods and services purchased by consumers. Higher reading than expected should be taken as bullish for the euro, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish for the euro, and that's important because the euro is correlated to gold. Next Wednesday, we also have 3 o'clock the CAD interest rate decision, so this will affect any CAD trades you're in. The Bank of Canada Governing Council members come to a consensus on short-term interest rates, and these are the primary factor in currency valuation. A higher than expected rate is bullish for the CAD, while a lower than expected rate is bearish for the CAD. And again, that's important because the CAD is correlated to gold and oil prices, inversely so, especially to gold. So next Thursday, 30th of May at 1:30 p.m. we have the US GDP. That measures the annualized change in the inflation-adjusted value of all goods and services produced by the economy. It's the broadest measure of economic activity and primary indicator of the economy's health. Higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish for the US dollar. And of course that's important because of the correlation to gold. Next Friday at 12:30 a.m. we have the Tokyo Core CPI. The Tokyo Core Consumer Price Index measures the change in the price of goods and services purchased by consumers in Tokyo, excluding fresh food. Higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the Japanese yen, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish for the Japanese yen, and that's important because it affects US dollar, Japanese yen, of course, and the US dollar. And then next Friday at 2:55 p.m. we have the US Michigan Consumer Sentiment, and that index rates the relative level of current and future economic conditions, and there are two versions of the data, so the preliminary data and the revised data. And the preliminary data tends to have a greater impact. The reading is compiled from a survey of around 500 consumers. A higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish. Those are really the key news announcements to look out for over the next week or so, and today as well, this afternoon. Okay, fantastic. So, of course, to request information on our gold, silver and Forex courses and our live trading room and live trading program, you can simply go to www.thegoldandsilverclub.com/course-form, or you're very welcome to contact us at office@thegoldandsilverclub.com. Call our London office on 0207 193 0403, or our Asia Pacific office on 852-8191 0403. Of course, let me just show you how to do that for those of you looking to request more information. You can very simply, once you're on our website, just go to Learn to Trade tab at the top left, and you will just see a coaching program form there. And once that's completed, Zena, the Gold and Silver Club, will be in touch with you with further information. Okay, fantastic. And of course, to subscribe to our newsletter, just go to www.thegoldandsilverclub.com to receive free weekly gold, silver and commodity currency news, live market analysis and prices. Okay, excellent. Right, well, we wish you all good luck for the rest of the day's trading. Myself and Nick at the Gold and Silver Club, we are going to be back here on Friday the 7th of June. We won't be here for next Friday's webinar, but we'll be back as usual on Friday the 7th of June at same time at 11 a.m. So good luck, guys, for all of your trading. Of course, if you need anything else, do get in touch with us on the details provided on the screen. And yeah, we'll catch you in 2 weeks, okay? So have a fantastic day, and I'll see you later. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.